Coach, we finally sitting down.
Good to be here, man.
And grateful for you to be here. This ain't even our first time sitting down either. Technically it's our first time sitting down, but this isn't the first time we've been on camera together. Post our lesson.
Yeah, I was thinking, getting together like this. Golf is so cool.
It is.
We're paired together, and a fundraiser that Tim Brown puts on. Had a chance to meet you, and you build a friendship. You then connect over the game, and I think it's, we're gonna be friends, forever. And that's we just met over a common a day.
And me not being good at golf too.
No.
Hey, no, it was funny though, because it's like, I still remember it. You invest the time to come see me. I'll invest the time to teach you. And I was like, all right, say less. It's like, I'll teach you how to hit a draw before the end of our lesson. And by the end of the lesson, I was hitting a draw with one hand. So
yep,
I was very impressed. And
yeah, that's what I love about the game. You meet people, and you just never know. You never know who you're going to connect with and have a reason to bond. So it's always special.
Man, well, with the game, coaching, family man, coach, PGA coach, Tony Martinez. Where are you in life right now?
I'm on the back nine.
On the back
nine? I'm definitely on the back nine. I'm at peace. It just, the game has been great to me. My family is healthy, and thankful for that. I get to spend a lot of time and see my children. I love what I do. I love my profession. I love meeting people. So, I'm in a great spot in life. I'm at that spot to where I feel like I've got a little wisdom.
Yeah.
And now, before I make mistakes, I feel like I can catch it. So I'm really looking forward to the next season of, the end of my career and the future of life as, hopefully a grandfather and everything that comes with that. And the game's going to be in there for always.
Always.
I'm never really going to retire. My career's just going to look different.
Yeah. Okay. So before we get to the end, because the end is important, but we got to take it all the way back to in Tucson.
Yep, I'm from Tucson.
Yeah, take us back to Homero Blanco.
Yeah, so crazy. Not a crazy situation, but just crazy what happened from the standpoint of I'm a first generation golfer, so I took up golf, and then right around the time or shortly after, I don't know how it went, my dad was taking up golf, so I was introduced to golf and blessed to be in a community in the city of Tucson that had a really progressive junior golf program to where it made it affordable to play the municipal golf courses. So I'm the product of municipal golf. And you could play for just $1 or $2 on a space available basis. So you get on the waiting list. And the situation that you're referring to, which had a big impact on me, was we were at the busy Randolph Park golf course, busy 36-hole, kind of the hub of public golf in Tucson, and the head golf professional there was just a rock star, in a literal sense, and to me for sure. He played on tour, played in Ryder Cups, was a head pro, just the guy.
Yeah.
And we were waiting. Me and my friends were, we're probably 11, 12 years old. And Homero Blancas comes walking out of the golf shop, and he walks across, the putting green, and we catch eye contact, and he just says, "Hi, Tony." And, it was all I could do, not pee my pants. And it's not that I hadn't seen him or knew who he was or whatever, but there was just that something about that day and that recognition that he saw me and that he knew who I was, means that he recognized that I was there. And I was a grinder. I was playing golf all summer. And just that vivid picture of him, the way he was dressed, being dark complected like me, and being Latino. That was the first time I saw myself in him, and I thought, wow, I could maybe be that, or that's what I aspire to be. And it was just such a vivid thing that it just made such a huge impact on me and kind of guided me for the rest of my professional career.
Speaking of guided, what ways do you think that guided? Like your perspective, your drive. Like how did that one moment drive?
Well, it gave me a vision.
Mm.
It gave me a vision, and I knew what I wanted to do for a living, or as a career, or as a profession, by age 13.
Wow.
I was probably 15 when I made it public, where that's what I talked about. But I had, how you make those decisions, right?
Yeah.
So as very young, and it just guided me from the standpoint that I kind of knew what to do next. And I was just blessed to not waver. I was blessed to have a family, and then the other people that came in my life that encouraged it. So they helped bring my vision more into focus. And I had no idea what a gift I'd been given until now. I can reflect back on it and realize how powerful your vision and the idea and theory of manifestation and affirmation and how powerful that is. And I know that there's neuroscience to back it. Of course, I knew none of that for the longest time, but now at this point in my life, I look back on it and I'm a product of it. I know it worked.
Powerful. Like being able to, one, garner the idea of vision at the age of 13 and commit yourself fully to it at 15.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a grind.
Yeah, it sounds like a grind to get to that place.
I don't see it as a grind. Honestly, it gave me a free pass, right? Like I never doubted, I never second guessed anything else. I was like, well, right. So what it allowed me to do was just stay on a path.
Right.
Now, of course, other things came in life, and as I fast forward, Homero Blancas, I always credit him as having a huge impact on me, and who I am today. But because of that initial vision, the ripple effect of the next people that I met, right? So as I get older and I'm playing high school golf and I'm a competitive teen, right? I would take lessons from Homero Blancas, and I got to know him, and I would play competitive golf with his kids. So I really got to know him,
yeah.
Right? And then they build a municipal golf course on my side of town, on the east side of town in Tucson, and I started working there at the age of 15. That's when, right? So now I know I meet that pro, and then now you're talking to the people, the Terry Wilks of the world, and the Rex Worrells who brought me to Texas. As far as mentoring and guiding me, they had a real hand in it.
Right.
But the catalyst was Homero, and then as I built personal relationships, working relationships, and personal relationships, and those mentors become family to me, then things started coming in focus. But once I could get a job at the golf course, I had at a local restaurant. I was a busboy. like once I had the opportunity, like I was never going to work anywhere else.
Right.
So it wasn't that I was grinding. It was like, oh, well, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
And then my next step, well, of course, that's what it's going to be. And that's what that's going to be. So it just unfolded in a logical sense.
And it started with the vision, though.
100%. Without that,
it's like not being able. It's like trying to go somewhere and not knowing the location, or like you trying to get up here without having the address.
Yes. Exactly. It's a cheat code. So what would happen is when I would meet other people and they would come into my life, and I start working at a golf course and I see what it's like to be self-employed and have his own business and impact other people and and the community of golf and really what that meant. Now, mind you, the whole time I'm carving my way as a good little golfer,
right,
in my city and in Arizona, right? So I was still driven by that, but back to what you said originally, right? Like, wow, that's a grind or whatever. And I think of that takes focus.
mm-hmm.
And the way that I like to think of it, especially in this context, is if I have my camera and I bring up my camera to take a picture, well, I just want to make sure that I put it in focus.
Right.
So the picture is clear.
Mm.
So it's less of a grind. Well, oh, there's a clear picture and I can see what's in front of me, and that's what I want it to look like. Okay, well, I don't have to grind now. It's just cleared up.
Right.
So, like I said, is it kind of a cheat code or an advantage, and it just gave me an opportunity to have some blinders and stay in it.
So with those blinders that you had, how did that get you all the way over here to Texas?
I not only had a vision of wanting to be a golf professional and work in golf, I still had an idea of playing golf, especially as I played in college. I played college golf, and we had a very competitive team and a good team, and I played at Grand Canyon University, and so golf gave me travel. My first plane ride, all of that stuff. First time I'm now playing golf around the country. So, playing competitive golf was still a huge vehicle for me into the keeping things in focus. And then as I'm working at the golf course, now I'm making this decision. Well, if I don't play professionally, well, then I for sure want to be a PGA golf professional. And then you have that network and someone takes you under your wing, just like any coach in any sport. They start talking to you about where to play college, where to go next. If you're not going to go to the league like you, then I'm going to, I know this is what you studied and I know your personality and I have a friend that is in this business. Mine was just in one box.
Right.
So my mentor, my real mentor, first mentor through my teen years and in college, introduced me to his mentor, who he worked for as an assistant golf professional. So my vision was to be a golf professional, but I wanted to work in public golf. And not only did I want to work in public golf, I wanted to work in municipal golf because I knew that they were self-employed.
Right.
At the time, they were contractors, and that's the world I was in, and that's what I wanted to do. So I meet him, I work with him. We really developed a close relationship. And then this idea of vision, affirmation, have a picture, commit to it. That mentor, his name was Rex Worrell. Rex gave me a look into his life and the way he and his wife Barb managed their business. And he really fueled the notion of, well, if you want it, put a picture on your mirror and you'll get it.
Yeah.
So then I was already leaning that way. And then I had someone that really cultivated that thought process. And that was just a huge gift. And he and I became very, very close. And I always say that he gave me Texas.
Man, that's awesome.
He gave me Texas. So I was able to come and and the next phase of our career, professional career, was to be here. And the reason is, one of the things that I want to do is I want to build and own my own golf course. Hopefully, right? I want to be a municipal golf professional and then own my own golf course. And here was someone who was a golf professional at a municipal.
Right.
I worked for him in the private sector, my only private sector job for just a few months, at Pine Top Country Club in northern Arizona. And then I got my first head professional job in the city of Eloy in Tucson. And during all of that, Rex had moved to Texas and was going to build his own golf course.
Wow.
And he called me and said it was mine. I could be involved in it if I wanted. I had a young, just newlywed and recently married and had a baby and a 1-year-old daughter, Emma, and we're expecting our second child. And he gave us an opportunity to move to Texas. And what made that decision for us was, there's a man that I'm modeling and I want to be like, and I want to do what he's doing when I get to be his age. I'm going to go learn how to do it.
Right.
I'm going to have a front row seat. I'm going to be defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator for this head coach legend.
Right.
And then maybe one day I'll get my own deal. That's kind of how it transpired. A lot of more details in there, but
no, that's awesome. I mean, you followed the path that you knew you wanted to be on. If you can be there to learn under somebody that's doing it, I mean, that sounds like a no-brainer.
It is a no-brainer. It's the right decision, right? If you can spend time, if you're young, my advice would be, if you're young and you know what you want to do, and you have an opportunity to be around someone that's doing what you want to do, and or someone that's considered the best in the industry, one of the best in the industry, you should be willing to work for them for free.
Right. Internship. For
real.
real.
And I think we've lost a little bit of that mentality, but it also goes to say, I can't make that move now. I'm responsible at the time. I'm in my mid-20s, but I'm responsible for more than just me.
Right.
So the fact that my wife Gretchen was so supportive to us building our career together, and me being the engine behind it, I can't do any of that without her.
Right.
Like, you don't move halfway across the country with 2 babies when all of your family, both sides of your parents, are living where you are.
Right. Hard.
Yeah, you just don't do that. I always say that it's important to not let the smart decision keep you from the right decision.
That's a bar.
Yeah, and the smart decision is, in many cases, our kids are now acclimated in their school.
Right.
I'm making this much money right now, and if I go over there, that's a lateral move.
Right.
Or maybe it's a pay cut. I've got stability where I live now, and over there, there's uncertainty. What if that doesn't work? Now I got to go all the way back to Tucson, Arizona, and say, Texas was a good idea, but there's a lot of risk in that. There's a lot of fear. So it'd been smart to stay.
Right.
But that's not where I wanted to be forever.
Nope.
So giving myself the opportunity to say and ask these questions, do I know where I'm going? What does it look like? Am I where I need to be right now to get there? And who are the people that can help me? Right? Those are the right questions. And I think early, when we're starting our careers and trudging against life, we want the answers. When I have found that you just need those questions. If you're constantly asking yourself those questions, well, We don't know what the answers are going to look like, but you will be able to make the right decision, and then realize, oh, that was wrong. Pick six.
Yeah.
That was the wrong play at the wrong time.
But we always got a chance for another play.
But we're still going to win.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, now that's me telling this story, not realizing how it was unfolding at the time.
Right. Wow. So amidst the vision, the decision, how challenging was it at the time when you became official in the PGA? What was that process like? Was it the same as it is now, or is it different?
I think it's relative, right? Just like everything, as an industry and an association, we're evolving, we're growing, we're making mistakes, but we're better. And so I think if it's apples to apples, it was just as hard when I was starting my career to become a PGA member as it is now. You make an argument it's easier, it's harder. I think my biggest challenge was the industry, and especially the PGA and the curriculum at the time, was so tied toward, and the majority of our members and the majority of golf is played in country clubs and private clubs. Even back then, there were fewer golf resorts than there are now. So, your path to golf was, especially for minorities, the path to golf for minorities, the generation right before me, was you worked at a golf course. You worked at a golf course, you were introduced to the game, introduced to the culture, introduced to the people, you caddied. Oh, I learned to play, blah, blah,
Right.
So I'm really kind of the first generation where one of the first generations where golf was really available to everybody. And then during my time, it's become more and more of a public access. So to me, the challenge was, but I don't want to work at a country club, right? You're referring to members, and I want to refer to golfers or the public.
Right.
Now, I live in the world where we talk about the public, not our members, which is the same thing, but it's also very different. So I knew that I was different in the profession. I knew I was different. I mean, I've been traveling around playing college golf. There weren't many that looked like me.
Right.
And everything was new to me.
How was that? How was that, like being a part of a game, or wanting to be a part of something that didn't have many people that looked like you in it?
Yeah, or feel maybe as inviting, or feel like that's another big hurdle, right? So I got to go back to Homero. This man did it.
Yeah.
Right? He's known, worldwide.
Right.
He's got the lowest, right? So I thought, I always knew it could be done. And so, but it was a challenge from the standpoint, because you would doubt it. And sometimes I think that kind of fueled me, but it also helped me shape my identity. I knew I would have the best home in public golf, and I knew I could make the best impact in public golf. And more important than that, I knew that if I wanted more people like me with being Mexican American and having that culture and wanting to see it infiltrate into the game, I knew that I would have the best opportunity to do that in the locations that minorities and Latinos and Black boys and girls were at least had an opportunity to play. Right. So that was always been a passion of it, but it was a challenge, to stay that course and think, okay, well, this is it, because there were plenty of times where I was like, oh, maybe my career wants me to go that way.
Right.
But it was also, on that topic, I think we talk about it in a lot of terms as the challenge of being a minority, right? We're still, in the PGA of America, and we're making progress,
right.
But we're still minorities, especially in golf. And I like to look at it as, well, that gives me an opportunity. Gives me an opportunity to be the first. Gives me an opportunity to create a pathway. Gives me an opportunity to. It's given me the opportunity to be in leadership positions because they want the perspective of someone of color. It gives me an opportunity to be on committees and be someone that maybe has a hand in changing the game, or not changing it, but moving it forward.
Right.
So there's also a lot of opportunity. It's not just your back's against the wall the whole time.
Right. I mean, and that's how it's always portrayed. Like,
Yes.
the back is always against the wall. Everybody's always against you. But I mean, sometimes you just got to go against the grain in order to grow. Sometimes you need to be that extra weight. You have to push that extra weight in order to get stronger. And
That's
I
a
feel
good way
like
to
the
say it.
game is definitely growing a lot, especially with people of color, people that look like you and I, especially with the media now. People are tapping in. Everybody is wanting to golf. Athletes are starting to golf more, entertainers, and even, the people that just work regular jobs and that aren't in sports. I see guys all the time out at the range that I go to and try. I'm like, oh, okay, I see you. Fresh bag too. Fresh
Oh
bag.
yeah, you got to have the stuff.
Fresh bag.
You got to have the stuff, right? You got to look right. And, right, that's what it is. That means that the fertilizer that we put out is now we're starting to get a crop, because the first thing was access. So you being a professional athlete and being in a position to where you were challenged, and I'm speaking for you, but I'm just trying to think about it. But you were challenged as an athlete all the time.
All the time.
You being an elite athlete, a world-class athlete, puts you in social positions that were also a challenge. That you're a first generation. Now, this is the first time I experienced this, or first time I experienced that. Well, golf is also a part of that.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to be in a city that allowed access for us.
Right.
And therefore I was introduced to different cultures and people and age demographic. You're an 11-year-old kid getting called to the first tee, and you're getting paired with a guy in his 40s playing hooky from work, and a couple from Iowa.
Yeah.
in their 60s. Right? You learn about the world. And fast forward where you are in your career, you've put yourself in a position where you can have access to golf. And then now, once you have access to it and you introduce yourself to the community, you end up with on the links and off the links.
Yeah.
And you're a lover of the game. You're part of the family. And so that's key. As long as we have access and then we can introduce people to the lifestyle and the culture, and everyone that's around the game sees everything that's good about the game,
Right.
and the life lessons and all of that stuff. That's why if you're good at golf, it's only part of the equation.
Right. Powerful. That's real powerful. I mean, so we're gonna touch back on Homero again, because it seems like he really had some impact in
For sure.
that journey, and how when he said that to you that first time on the course, uh, how did that impact you? Seeing how he moved on the course as like a mentor, as a person of the community, a really good golfer, a great teacher, and then you said he had his family as well. How did that impact you as far as like mentorship?
I think as far as mentorship, he just gave me a picture, and I love the way you said it, the way he moved, the way he interacted, like I watched everything, like every detail. And I tell that story. That day he walked by, he was wearing white wingtip FootJoys, a white golf shirt, I think La Mode, red Sansa slacks, and he had a big black shiny Michelob golf bag. And like that was it. Like a lot of pros had that Michelob golf bag. And boom. Like that was it. And then him recognizing me cracked the door a little bit that I could then maybe talk to him. And then that's kind of how now maybe I can take a lesson from it.
Mm-hmm.
And then now he became touchable, which means the next golf pro that I met was touchable.
All right.
And then the relationships after that was really the true mentorship of, hey, do this, do that. You don't want to do that. And I think the one thing people talk about mentorship all the time, golf lends itself to that. So how many of your friends have you taken that have never tried to hit a golf ball?
So many. So many.
You're mentoring.
Wow.
That experience is you're mentoring the whole time. No, just stand over here. Put that like that. Here's what we call that. So it's just the fabric of the ecosystem of golf. And when you're a kid and they're the elder, it's easy to ask questions about everything.
All right.
If you've got the courage.
So
it just naturally happens.
So you've done many initiatives and some very impactful ones that I've been able to learn about. What's been the one that you've been so proud of that you've been able to be a part of that that you've started with the PGA?
Well, I would say PGA specifically, there's so many. PGA Junior League, I think, is incredible. The seed was planted here in Northern Texas PGA. We had team golf, and the model grew. I think it's been the most powerful thing that we've done to grow golf and to enhance the profession of the PGA professional and the coach. So that's probably been the most impactful. Now I've been involved in lots of stuff. Fairway to Success program, which we've got the field trip on Friday at, so to be a part of that. And then even more, I would say most recently, starting an endowment scholarship fund in the name of Rex and Barbara Worrell, who I mentioned, who gave me Texas and show me how to do this life, and really cared for me and loved on me and encouraged me. Started an endowment at New Mexico State University, where he's an alum, and where he was introduced to golf by PGA Hall of Famer Herb Wimberly, and worked under Herb. And they have a professional golf management university at New Mexico State. And so started an endowment to honor Rex and Barb, and that scholarship will go to the next generation of PGA golf professionals that need assistance, because they gave me assistance, and I want their legacy to be known and go forward and help countless more.
Always make an impact. Always make an impact, man. I mean, you just continue to have a beautiful print on this game, and the people that are fortunate enough to cross paths with you, the youth, the elders, the guys like myself. I mean, when did you realize that this game and your role in this game was more than coaching?
I think from coaching. Coaching is the only aspect of my career that I didn't set out to do. Like I knew it would be part of it, right?
Yeah.
If I was going to be a carpenter or a builder, I knew I was going to hammer some nails.
Yeah.
Right? It was going to be part of my job, but I didn't set out to coach PGA Tour players and have an opportunity to coach at the Masters and the PGA Championship and countless collegiate athletes and high school athletes. And And I think it was a gift that I didn't know I had. It's a passion that I didn't know I had. It's the one thing that I do professionally where time stops and I'm really present. So it's given me so much. What's made me realize that it's bigger than just coaching is the people that I've coached. They've taught me so much. And you realize, wow, this is, someone that had never hit a golf ball. And now we've got a relationship and they are a CEO of a Fortune 500 company or something like that. And we rely on each other.
Right.
Like, wow, that's crazy that I've been able to meet these people. So I think it's that. And then it's just the nature of the game, right? The nature of the game is I want to play you and beat your brains in. But I'm also happy for your success.
Right.
And I think that's a cool balance of the spirit of the game.
Love that. And you've brought your family into the game too, huh?
Yeah. Well, they didn't have a choice.
So the family's in the game. Tell us about how involved the family is.
Well, I didn't forecast that either. And to be quite honest, I carried a lot of shame and a lot of guilt.
Wow.
If I had some do-overs, just like anybody, I would do some things different, especially when it comes to the golf profession and this industry. When everyone's off work, we're on work. The kids are on spring break, we're having junior camp. 3-day weekend, we're working. So it's early mornings, it's late nights. Being self-employed, we're farmers, right? Farm's always open.
Always open, never closed.
So if you grow up on a farm, then you learn about the farm. It's not optional.
Right.
So if I was going to spend time with my kids,
It was coming.
they were going to be in and around it.
Yeah.
And so I carried a lot of guilt and shame because I missed a lot of stuff. I missed a lot of T-ball. I missed a lot of coaching. I missed some donuts with dads. And then I got to a point to where I was coaching a little bit more professionally with elite athletes, and now I'm traveling.
Right.
So
more time.
If you're on the PGA Tour and you want me in New Orleans, I got to figure out how to get there in a few days. And there was a birthday party, or maybe we'll celebrate when I come home, or whatever. It's very similar to what you can relate to.
Right.
So the fact that all of my children have worked in the golf industry is the biggest gift from God to tell me you didn't make it look bad. I felt guilty about it. I mean, there's no 40-hour week in this business.
Oh, I can only imagine.
And that's not meant to sound bad. Like, you get to be at the golf course?
I don't think it's that bad, but I also didn't do it. I didn't walk that walk.
If I had a do-over, I do not like the word work-life balance. I don't think there's such a thing. I think there's work-life integration. And the way that I knew how to do that the best was to include my family in my work. So when we went on vacations, and a vacation would be Dad's doing a golf school. And if I'm doing a golf school, I need helpers. I need people shagging balls. So they've heard me. They've been around it. So my son is a PGA member. Ty. He's a head pro at Keaton Park. Super proud of that. We got our PGA membership almost 30 years to the day apart.
Wow.
Mine is June 1st of 94, and he is June 4th, I believe, of 24. My daughter, my oldest, she has a career. She lives in Oahu. in Honolulu, and she has a career where she works with the First Tee of Hawaii and the Hawaii State Junior Golf Association, and also helps cultivate a big event. Their major fundraiser. Um, so she got into golf later when she relocated to Hawaii, and then my youngest, right out of high school, wanted to play professionally. I've coached them. I've got some relationships with professional players from Mexico. So they got to see that environment and meet a lot of kids. And he had a vision that he wanted to play golf professionally, and felt like his path was through the Mexican professional tour. And so he was 19 years old and moved to Mazatlan, Mexico. And he, first of all, he earned his card through Q School.
Hey.
And so he lived there for a year, lived in Guadalajara, Mexico for a year, and traveled and tried to play played professionally. Pandemic hit, kind of squashed that and travel, especially international travel. So he came back home and then made another go back at golf, trying to get in our side of the business as working in golf, and wasn't his thing. So, but he's still involved in golf. He's involved with Daniel Trevino's son, is son of Lee Trevino and the Supermex golf brand. He works closely with him and his company, and that's great for him. And of course, he's in and around the business. So again, it's a family affair. My wife has always been an integral part of our business in working with us. So we're a small business. We're family business.
Speaking of business, shout out to the family, by the way. Can't pass that over. Gretchen is incredible. Ty, I haven't met the daughter yet, but Ty is awesome as well.
I'm awfully proud of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, as a father, like I can only imagine. Like, and you wear the smile, great. And I got to see you and Ty in action together, and I was just like, man, like this is cool. I can't wait till me and Avon out here playing golf like this. And I'm actually good, and I'm actually better.
Well, it's amazing, and my kids have taught me so much, even before they knew it. Right? Yeah, they're 10 years old, asking questions. Dad, why do we do that? I heard these men talking. Why that? Dad, I think if we did this. You've been to our golf shop.
Mm-hmm.
To say that Ty doesn't have a hand in that feel that we have, that urban feel, that skate shop, record shop,
it's a vibe.
Bumping beats. That's culture, and that's bringing more culture to the game. And he can do that better than I can do that.
All right. Speaking of, I mean, let's tell us a little bit about Keaton Park. Tell us about what y'all been cooking up, what y'all do over there, the Tuesday nights.
Yeah, Tuesday night scramble.
Come on.
What I've loved is working in public golf, and specifically municipal golf. I think my favorite thing about the sector that I've been able to work in is we are the on-ramp to the game. That's where people learn to play, and so we're the doormat. We're the front steps. So come to us, and we want to submerge you into the game and be part of our community.
All right.
So that's our vision, and that's what we do. So all of the decisions we make, our Tuesday night scramble is about the hang, and it's about the people, and it's about the vibe. We want to create an environment where you come visit and say, oh, I got to bring my boys. I got to bring my fan. I got to bring my wife.
All right.
Oh, there's other couples out here. There's other young kids out here. Oh, I want to do that. This is a safe place. And, and we want to be the place where the people that belong to country clubs in Dallas know that we haven't sold out the game.
Right.
They can still get a grind session in at the end of the range and work on all their stuff and bring their TrackMan out and all of that. So we want to be, we want to facilitate whatever form of golf you want. You don't have to conform to us. We want to conform to you. And so that's what we do. We've got a Saturday morning clinic We're a good follow on Instagram, KeatonPark.com. Shout out to, again, my young team. I always say, to my colleagues that I consistently have the youngest staff, professional staff running because, I want that next fresh face.
Yeah.
I want that, if you're new to golf, you're new to golf. My kids were 10 asking hard questions. Well, you can be 22 and ask hard questions.
Right.
Why this? Why that? And that's why we make some decisions that we make. But like I said, we want the hang. That's what we do. We want to be inviting to everybody. We want to be an inclusive place.
Right.
And that means I'm going to invite you into my home and make you feel as comfortable as possible.
All right. Man.
So that's what Keaton Park does. We're down Southeast Dallas, in Pleasant Grove. It's City of Dallas, owned by the City of Dallas. There are 5 municipal golf courses within the City of Dallas, and we manage and operate Keaton Park. You've been out there. It's an urban golf course that feels like you're out in the country.
Right. It does.
You can't can't hit your ball in a house. You can't hit your ball on a road. You can't, right? So it's a getaway. It's an oasis. It's why people love golf, to be in nature and be out, and it feels like you went to East Texas and didn't leave the city.
No, it really does though. Like I remember when I first pulled up, I was like, why do I not feel like I'm in Dallas?
Oh yeah.
But it didn't matter because I was on a golf course.
Yeah. And then 2 quick turns and you're at Fair Park.
Exactly. So 30 plus years in the game. What do you want your legacy to be when you're done, when it's all said and done?
I think I would like when people think of me, I would like them to know that I had a faith, that I relied on God to help guide me. I would hope that people would say he loved his family and he loved the game and he loved what he did. That's what I like people to say about me. My legacy, I don't think I'd want my legacy is not about what I've done or what I built or what I left behind. The legacy for me would be what continues because I was here.
All right.
So if anything throughout my journey that I had a hand in, a major role or a minor role, if there's anything that I touched that multiplies down the road to levels that I could have never done it, man, that's a legacy that I would be proud of. So to get to see it in my family and those that I touch, that's what I want my legacy. The next. So I would like to have a little bit of the next guy's legacy.
Yeah. Man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So let's go back in Tucson, 11 years old. What would you tell yourself now?
Well, I have the blueprint. I think I would just say, I think I would say what my dad told me. I think on one end you could say, my dad was hard on me, pushing me, driving me, having a standard. But he gave me an abundance. And that's a word. An abundance of encouragement. So when I felt uncomfortable, when I knew I was the only one, when I wasn't sure and no one around me had done it, he always encouraged me to do it. So I think being a dad, I would tell myself what my dad told me. And hopefully that's what I'm telling my children and those that I come around. Like, go just do it. You can do it. There's no failure. Keep trying, keep learning, keep doing. So I think that was it. I didn't get that all by myself. So that's what I would tell my 11-year-old. So if I would reiterate what I was told.
Wow. That's powerful. That's powerful because not everybody has that.
No,
So
I don't take it lightly.
that
I look back on it now. I was always encouraged to go try that. Well, go do that. Well, why wouldn't you try that? And that was I didn't realize how what a treasure that is to have, and how a lot of people don't have that. And I think that's one of the things that I want to, I want to give to others. You've certainly had it in some form.
Oh yeah, my dad and my mom. My dad, my mom, like they were very supportive in the journey. Like from a kid, they always told me I could do it. They always, even when nobody else was doing it around me, you could do it.
Yes.
And I believed in that from an early age, 5 years old. Like I knew I was going to the NFL. I didn't know how I was getting there, but like you said, all you need is a vision.
Yes.
And along that path, there was some things that knocked me off it a little bit, like got me out of focus. And
sure.
When you know where you want to go, you can always refocus your camera and refocus your vision on where you want to go, and take those steps, which I was able to do, fortunately.
Yeah. You didn't know what you were doing.
No.
But you knew where you were going.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what keeps people from taking action. It's because, well, if I knew what I was doing,
yeah.
Or I got to learn how to do it, and then I can do it. Anyone that tells you that they know, they're lying.
They don't know.
You can know what you want, and then you're gonna, right? Because what you don't know is this is what I want in life, or this is what I see myself being, and I want to get that out of life. Life plays defense.
Yeah.
Right? Like
life ain't just standing still.
Right? And you get knocked in the face, so you're like, okay, well, I got to learn this. I got to tighten up my craft and figure that out. And I think that that's what you've shared with me. Those are decisions that you make along the way. I'm going to transfer from this university that the whole world wants to play at,
right,
to this university that the whole world wants to play at. Like, people don't get to make those decisions. And you have that opportunity, and I'm assuming you asked yourself those questions. Where do I need to be to get to where I want to go?
Right. I just knew at the moment where I was not where I needed to be, because where I was trying to cancel out what the vision was. They tried to take it away, and when somebody tries to take it away, you either stay there and allow yourself to succumb to their beliefs, or you can continue to believe in yourself and take a step, even if it's a step that you have no idea where it's going to take you.
How do you think? Why do you think you did that?
I wanted to go. I wanted to go to the league. I knew that my coach telling me that, hey, we got the same degree, we're not going to give you your scholarship back next year, but I can help you find a job. That was him telling me that, I don't believe in your ability to go to the NFL. So if you plan on staying here, you might as well plan on having another dream, because that NFL dream is out the window. So I went to Miami, and, in order to continue to pursue my dream. And the funny thing about it was that I didn't know nobody. I didn't know a soul. I went there and I knew two coaches that, one I had a good relationship with.
So until then, had you kind of been a Texas bubble?
Oh, yeah, Texas bubble. I might have been out of Texas once my entire life at that time.
So you had culture, you had everything.
Culture, family, all of it.
And then
to Miami, I'm Solo dolo. But, I had to lock in and had to reset like my vision, like because it had been knocked off and it did, my coach telling me that did put me in a place that was not leading me towards my goal.
Hmm.
So, changing the environment helped me refocus the vision and really set the target on where I wanted to be.
And keep growing, right?
Mhm.
So then now you make it to the league. Like, what was that like?
Oh man, it's the funny thing about it is I had no expectation, no expectation. Um, got to Miami, started 6 games, broke my forearm, so I didn't have a lot of film. So going into like the draft, I had no expectation. Like I was like, all right, I had a lot of special teams plays. I made plays here and there at corner. I made a couple plays at Texas when I played at safety. But like the whole body of work, I didn't really feel like it had granted me an opportunity, at least to get drafted. I knew maybe I'd do something based on what I did at the pro day, and I ended up getting drafted, and that was like I cried.
Of
I
course.
cried my eyes out. 7th round pick. The crazy thing about it, my agent told me that I was going to get drafted in the 5th round by Seattle. So I was ready. I was ready. 5th round passed by. I was sick. Heart in my stomach, tears down my face.
But before it started, you just wanted to get
Yeah,
drafted.
I just wanted to go to the league. I didn't even want to get drafted.
So it creates an expectation that's not even real.
I know. I'm like, I didn't want this. Like my agent gave me this. I was crushed. But then I got lifted back up by the grace, and San Francisco called, and it was beautiful. It was an incredible experience. Like all my dreams that came true at that moment.
And then life
And
kept,
then life kept going. Life kept going. You gotta go report mini camp. You gotta go learn how to play defense. You gotta go fight for a spot with grown men who got families and kids and wives and bills. And I ain't paid a bill since. I'm 22 years old. I still ain't paid a bill.
So what was your scale balance of, because you got to have some inner belief
Oh yeah.
to be in that position. Now you're in the league, you're on San Francisco, you're with the Niners. You spent a lot of time knowing I'm him.
Yeah.
How much balance of I'm him and I'm scared to death?
I think it was more I was scared to death and I'm him. Like the scared to death was weighing. It was weighing because I'm like, I had not, like I knew some guys in the league. I had a couple friends that was in the league, but like me, like the person you see now isn't the person that I was at the time.
Yes.
Like my mind, like I was very insecure. I didn't like asking questions. I was scared to not feel like I knew something or scared to not know something. So I didn't want to ask somebody because I didn't want to feel like I was dumb.
Yeah.
I didn't want to feel like I didn't belong.
Yeah.
So I struggled a lot mentally from like and that happened all the way through college, honestly, until like my last year where I was just like, hey, I got to lock in or I'm not going to be able to play. Got to the league, it was like that all over again, except it was with a whole locker room full of guys that I didn't know. There was a lot of rookies that had came on and contributed to that team that year. And, there was no real like mentorship to like really lean on. And, at the end of the day, like it's dog eat dog. If you either sink or you either swim or you sink in the league, and that's just how it was.
Right.
And I mean, I think it still is culturally. So I had to learn. I had to learn on my own.
You had to row the boat.
Yeah, I had to row the boat
because the current would take you somewhere else.
It was gonna take you.
And then life keeps coming. So now you're gonna get traded or cut or whatever, right?
Cut.
Like it doesn't stop.
Yeah, cut, injuries, waived, traded. Yeah, all of it. And you can't and that's just internal. That's not personal life. That's not family. That's not, having kids, bills, all these different responsibilities that you have outside of this container of being in the sport.
And then the league spits you out.
Oh yeah, they spit you out. They don't really
And then
care.
it happens all over again. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a dad. I've got a family. I'm building my professional career outside of the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. That's why I love spending time with, having relationships with people like you, because I learn a lot. And a lot of it is, I'm older than you, but a lot of it is validation to let me know, well, just because I'm older, I still don't know what I'm doing. Right? I'm still afraid of stuff.
Right.
I'm still trying to, I just, at this point, I realize, every situation is not life or death.
No.
Right? Like, okay, take a breath, assess the situation, do the next right thing.
Right.
As to where.
Next shot.
Yeah, next shot. Be present. I got to be, I know I got to lock in. I got to be present. Yeah, it's amazing. And it doesn't matter, successful in football, successful in golf, successful in real estate. Isn't so much of it are the same principles.
And it's perspective too. Success. I feel like success is very perspective based. Like I get, when I go home, I get a lot of people, oh, you famous, this, you that, you successful. I'm like, yeah, but it's not for the reasons that y'all think. Like, yeah, I made it to the NFL. That's a wonderful feat. That's a great accomplishment that I don't take lightly. But like me being able to have impact in my community with the youth, and to be a present father, and to be a present husband, and to be a stand up friend that, shows up, but also shows people that, hey, like, boundaries are important. That is success to me. Success isn't how much money I've made, or, the investments or the people that I know, because you can know a lot of people and still not have any value come from those relationships, or value go into those relationships.
Yeah, that can't be taught. It can only be learned, right?
Right.
Because you can't, you just can't. But so you get drafted, you're crying, tears that I made it, or tears that,
Honestly, like, the crazy thing
where's
about
those
it,
emotions come from?
I think it was more of the alcohol than anything.
Fair. Hey, that is so fair.
I honestly think it was more the alcohol, because after the fifth round,
we were getting drunk.
After the fifth round passed, I was sick. I was like, "Give me another one, give me another one." But no, it was also joy though. It was joy, because that was something that, I got hit by a car when I was 9. Doctor told me I was never going to play football again.
Wow.
Played football the next year. So, I mean, I really didn't take that too seriously, but it was something that I always reflected on. Like, I got hit by a car. Like, I went through the windshield, blindsided on a bike. Like, I just found this out recently, but I have like an indention on this side of my head from when my head smashed through the windshield and broke the steering wheel.
Wow.
I had to be care flighted to Cook's Children's in Dallas.
You really went through the windshield.
Yeah. And I was in a coma for 2 weeks, and I had to relearn how to
My
walk.
goodness.
And for my 10th birthday that year, because it was in September. For my 10th birthday, I got another bike.
Hey, what's the saying? You just get back on it, just ride again. That so there's just that built-in resilience.
Yeah, so it was developed at an early age, and it didn't matter how hard it was, whether it was the depression in college from not fucking knowing. I didn't know. I didn't know what I was doing. I was a small fish in the ocean, and I didn't know how to navigate that world. I didn't know how to communicate to my family that I was scared, or that I didn't know what I was doing, because I didn't think they had the tools necessary to help me navigate that world, because I was first generation college, and we
Same.
also didn't have money, so I'm 5 hours away from my parents, so they can't just get up and drive the car to come and see me, because they got jobs and they got 2 kids
Sure.
that they got to take care of. So, like, I held that shit in, and for the most part, I struggled, and it took me down a deep dark path with alcohol, and eventually drugs when I got into the league. But um, it's definitely been something that has been intertwined in my DNA. The resilience, the ability to shake back and to reassess. I think that's why um, like film studying was so fun to me, because I was always able to just evaluate and figure out, like, all right, what can I do? What can I add? What can I take away to improve my game?
What at what point did you feel like it's okay to ask? And I don't mean, so you're saying you struggle with a little bit of substance and maybe some depression or anxiety or whatever, like life, like that. Every time you say ask for help, that that's what we think of. But I just mean just help. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm doing
right.
in this. Like, when do you think that
uh,
unlocked for you?
I
When you,
honestly think it unlocked for me after Avon was born, 22.
wow.
Yeah, almost 30 years old. And I finally learned how to ask for help. And I'd
I mean, like menial tasks. Like,
yeah, like menial tasks. Like, I'm
yes,
comfortable. I don't feel like that anxiety in my stomach. Hey, bro, can you come do this? Hey, you mind coming over, hopping on the podcast? Hey,
yes,
mom,
yes.
can you come over and watch Avon for a little bit, or anything just little? The littlest things used to bother me, because I didn't want to feel like I was a burden to somebody.
Yeah. Or
And
didn't know.
yeah, or didn't know, right?
Kind of like what you were saying in school.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
I can relate to that. I can totally relate to that. I think the one thing that is so beautiful about the game is, as I said before, it lends itself to ask for help.
right,
So you learn how to do it, as to where um, I'm not competing against you as much as we're in this together.
right,
So I think that's a gift that I got from golf early on. Is, hey, they know, ask them.
right.
And I guess if you can get comfortable with it in this area, then you can get comfortable with it.
In other areas,
Yeah,
like
if you had
applying.
that gift that your son gave you, and you were able to start applying it in your early 20s.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that last night. I was like, man, the if my mindset that I have right now, um, if I had that when I was like 20, I don't know. I might be on TV somewhere.
That's the dang, right? That's the gift of all. If we could all go,
I,
hang on, time out.
hold on.
Let me go back.
Let me go back. Let me go back and give my 20-year-old self all the lessons that I had to learn to get to where I'm at right
Yeah.
now, which is a beautiful thing,
That's
man. I
so
think.
inspiring though, to hear that, just to be a one percenter that you are, and uh, to hear it normalized.
Yeah, I mean,
It's pretty cool.
I mean, we all connected, man. We all experience some hardships. We all experience challenges. I mean, we all don't get through those challenges, because it's like you said, it takes a mindset, and it takes the vision, and it also takes support, which I think is a great thing. Like, I had my parents. Now I have my beautiful fiance and both of my kids, who are inspiring, and they motivate me daily. And then just the belief and the confidence in myself, and the abundance of love and compassion that I have, and empathy for the people around me, because I realize that like, my life isn't just for me. My life is not only impacting my family, but impacting other people that I'm connected to, even people that I don't even know. So, how can I continue to, you know, live accordingly that is fulfilling for me and also creating impact around?
Yeah, that's kind of what some of the questions you asked me. Probably you spurred something on. Probably the one thing when you asked what am I most proud of in my professional career, my brain was wrapped around being a young minority golfer and the growth of the game. But I'm pretty proud to be involved with a group of professionals that are in the recovery space and helping PGA golf professionals realize that life plays defense, and if you're struggling with drugs and alcohol, that there's a safe community to go to. And myself being in recovery has just been such a gift, and another one of those situations where you learn how to ask
Right.
and get some help and get around someone that's like, man, this person has maybe what I want, or they understand, or they can relate to me. That's just like the circle of life. And when you're on the outside looking in, you don't know how to
Right. Get in.
be vulnerable, be humble,
Gotta
admit, I don't know what I'm doing and I'm scared right now.
right.
I've never had a baby.
It's a hard
I've
admission.
never had a family. I've never, like, wow.
It's a hard admission, man. I mean, just to be able to, step up and, say those things. Like, hey, I need help. Like,
Yes.
hey, can you help me with this? Hey, what about this? Hey, what is this? Man, that's okay. It's all right to not know. But
I remember when my daughter went to college, I was trying to figure, we were at odds because she, I had my view of how her college was going to go, and of course she had her view, and that time of your life, and I remember just thinking, hey, I'm just telling her, I'm just as scared as you are.
Yeah.
Right? I've never had, you're my only girl.
Yeah.
And I haven't had a child go to college yet. I went to college, but I've never been in this role.
Right.
And I'm scared. And all these things that I'm coming up with in this plan are to try to protect you and me and everything else, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
And as soon as I could approach it like that, the whole temperature changed.
Mm-hmm. Empathetic.
The whole temperature changed. Whereas, I was trying to be like, well, because I know, and
yeah.
right? Because it's going to be like this because I know some shit.
Because this is where I was to
be. Like, damn it, I know some stuff.
Right.
So I think that asking for help and looking for those around you is such a powerful thing. And to hear you express it that way, that's why I love asking the question.
Hey, ask questions. Gotta ask questions. And it's all right to not know. And it's all right to ask for help and to need help. So, if you're out there and you need help, don't be afraid to ask for it. I mean, most of the people in your community, in your circle, are always open to help. And if they're not, then you probably need to find another circle. But Tony, I appreciate you. Thank you again.
What a pleasure. Thanks for teaching me too.
And you're sharing space. I mean, you opened your heart with your story, and you talked about the family and your journey in the PGA and everything that y'all are doing over at Keaton Park, which I will be tapped in to one of these Tuesday night scrambles. Me and Gabby gonna get out there.
We got to play.
We just need to find a little babysitter. I'll be there Friday. And before we get off, I the Masters is on the way, so I need something. I need a little take. Anything. What you got? What you think about the Masters? Who you got winning this year?
Man, I'm such a Scotty homer.
Yeah.
I like Scotty for sure. It's going to be amazing. I think Ty and I are going to be there early in the week. We'll come home Friday night, but we'll be there for a few days.
Man.
It's a magical place. It's a magical experience. I'm gonna say, who's a sleeper there?
Sleeper. Hmm.
It's got to be a good ball striker.
Yeah.
You have to have a
I
good
mean,
putting. I like,
Rory might pop out. He might pop out. He might pop
yeah,
out.
I don't know if he can go back to back.
He might pop out.
I don't know. I like.
But I like Scotty.
I'm gonna stick with Scotty. Hey man, we're in Dallas. We're feeling the love. He's part of. He's
Hook 'em.
yeah. Hook him. He's from the he's from the Northern Texas Junior Golf Foundation. What he and Randy Smith have done, and they've started a new junior tour for beginning golfers. And man, I hope he wins everything. That's the guy. He is. There's a lot of boys and girls running around DFW that Scotty is their home marrow.
Wow. That's awesome.
So let's
Hey,
let's
come on,
send that
Scotty.
energy.
Let's go, Scotty. Get it. Bring one back, baby. Bring another one back.
Let's have a call back. Let's get what it would sure be fun to have Jordan in the mix too.
Ooh, yeah, that would be cool.
Because that was fun. But a decade later,
hey,
have him in the middle of it.
That'd be cool. Hey, another Texas legend.
Yeah, another hook 'em.
Another hook. All right, now we're here for our STEM challenge. You know, we got Coach Tony with us, so he's gonna grace us with some lessons. Coach's fix. I'm gonna take a shot. Coach is gonna evaluate, give some feedback. I'm gonna try to recreate from the feedback that I get. Then he's gonna show us how to hit that shot.
All right, let's fix it.
Let's do it. All right, come on, Coach's fix. Let's get it. What's your saying on it? Like when you
know what you need to know about the bad one?
You don't need to know about the bad
Nothing.
shot.
You don't need to know anything about it.
You don't need to know nothing about it. So I've been trying not to think of anything about those bad shots.
So you've just had low confidence, feeling like you're having a hard time hitting the fairway.
Yep.
So.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's about right. That is about right.
Okay.
That is where I've been lately with the driver.
What do you think you're doing?
I feel like the sequence is off.
Right.
And I feel like I'm trying too hard.
Okay. So if you're by yourself on the range and you're having this experience, give me some go-to thoughts, like, okay, I'm gonna try and proactively improve by thinking this way.
So lately, like, I have been popping the ball up. So I've been like, all right, when I get here, I want to find a stance that's very comfortable for me, that I can feel the power.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also know that I'm not leaned too far forward.
Yes, that's been a problem in the past.
And just be confident.
Okay.
Tough.
So we're coming in low and left, or coming in low, and then what we see here is you said I've been popping it up.
Yeah.
So we know we've got some marks on the top. How do you think those are happening?
I'm hitting the ball right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we're making contact.
Yeah.
But do you think that that's because you're getting under the ball?
Yeah, I'm getting under the ball, but I'm also coming down steep.
Okay, well that's how that is happening. So the first one we saw two, a pop up left, and then a low left. So the low left, you hit it in the face, and the pop up, you hit it on the top. So your pattern is consistent of your swing. It's just subject to where you catch it. Okay, so in short, we need to shallow out your swing. You have enough intellectual knowledge about this that you understand outside in and inside out, blah, blah, blah. So we know that we're leaning steep, which means we're leaning outside in, and it needs to be a little more inside out and a little more shallow. Rather than think of like the specific, feel this with your elbow and your hand or whatever, I would like to paint with a broad brush and just think pattern. So if I can think in my mind, okay, I understand this is what's happening, I'm gonna try to make some movements and some behavior and some patterns that are gonna improve that. So in golf, we often think like, okay, this is where I am and this is exactly where I should be. But in other sports, we like to cheat, right? So if I'm gonna cheat because I want every advantage I can.
Right.
Well, it's okay to cheat in golf. So we're gonna do some things that are gonna try to give us every single advantage.
Right.
So the first thing I want you to do is just take your stance. And right there, you're super neutral, right? So all I want you to feel here is I want you to lean over, tip from the top, and just tap this left foot. There. Now see how we've created a little bit of uphill?
Mm-hmm.
So we've already set to where it's more of an upward strike rather than if I were down, we know that this is how we're coming into the ball. So we're just gonna start out cheating. We're just gonna lean, we're gonna tap that foot, swing, and try to make an up pattern. And you're allowed to, let's just do a couple rehearsals first. I got your teeth. I want you to swing and feel like you're gonna hit it on the bottom of the club. So just have that picture, which is just the exact opposite. So we're leaning a little bit. There you go.
Ooh, come on, man.
Let's
That
try.
felt good. That felt good.
Let's try it again. So you're just gonna make that pattern. There we go. And I think you're perfectly fine if we're gonna cheat. Stay back there.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start back here. I'm gonna load up like I know how to do athletically, and I'm gonna stay back there. That's okay.
Ooh.
Right? We're trying to break that instinctive pattern, that instinctive behavior.
Oh. It knew I hit the ball, but that thing in the fairway.
How about this? That is literally one take.
Come on. I appreciate the one take, because that thing went 4, and I hit it off the face. Man, appreciate that, Coach. Yes. In case y'all didn't know, Coach Tony, catch him at Keaton Park in Dallas, Texas.
Come on.
Appreciate that. Coach's picks. That was nice. That was fun.
That was fun.
I'll see you Friday. Tony, appreciate you pulling up with us, coming to hang out off the link.
I appreciate it very much. Just being with you, we always enjoy our time and have great conversations. So
cheers to many more.
One a minute.
Cheers to many more.
Thank you.
Let us know where people can follow you.
Tony Martinez PGA on Instagram. Keaton Park is really where I spend all my time. KeetonPark.com.
Yes. So make sure y'all check it out. If y'all ever in the Dallas area, stop by Keaton Park. You might not be able to get a lesson unless you book early. The list is short.
The list is short, but we got a lot of good coaches.
But you got a lot of good coaches and
a great practice facility.
And a great clubhouse. So make sure y'all stop by and make sure y'all stay tuned in for more off the link. Follow, like, subscribe, share if you connected with any of the messages that we shared today, and stay tuned for more off the link. Peace.
All right.